Welcome to Stanton, Kentucky and the inaugural Ranger Adventure. The goal of the Ranger Adventure is meant to inspire people to use their daily driver as a weekend adventure vehicle and to motivate people to get their off road trucks out and actually drive them, not just trailer them to an off road park. I was tired of wheeling the same off road parks and the same obstacles and wanted more of an adventure exploring the country, but I wanted to be challenging. Now, this is not an overlanding trip. The Ranger Adventure was inspired by the Ultimate Adventure, now the Unreal Adventure, except we won't be beating on our trucks to find their weak links. You have to drive your truck to the Ranger Adventure and back home. No trailers. This is Callie's campground, not far from Slade, Kentucky, and is an excellent staging area for some serious off-roading in the Kentucky backcountry. The great thing about Callie's is that it has an on-site store that also serves food, but they also have clean showers and bathrooms here. It's Friday morning. It's a beautiful day. The temp should be in the low 70s. Last night when we arrived and set up camp, it was raining, so we know that the trail is going to be wet and slick. There's a chance of rain later today, and it looks like it's going to rain all day tomorrow, so we will see what happens. Ready for this road? Yep, that's the road. It's soft. It's soft. This is that spot where I struggled in September.
Where?
To make sure my locker is turned on.
Yeah. You're gonna have to go that way a little bit. There you go. Ooh, ATs. Maybe back up and get a little more that way. A little more driver. There you go. Come right through there. You should come up right there.
It's pretty slick, man.
Yeah, I'm just spinning, sliding back and forth. I'm sitting on my rock slider.
Is my bumper gonna clear?
Easy. You don't drop it down when you go over that one rock right there. So easy, make sure. Good though, you got more than I got. Good.
Am I lined up?
Great. That looks like the line right there. Easy. You're gonna drop it down when you go over that one rock right there. So ease it and make sure. Should though, you got more than I got. You good. Yes, sir. Straight. That whip is whipping. Scared as shit. I hate it.
Big rock right.
Gnarly. Huh?
I said I was worried there for a second.
Well,
That's it. Felt like we got some.
I hope you got a picture of that or something.
I got my camera running.
Hey, there's a pipe on both sides of me, kind of like a guardrail. You want to make sure you don't end up on it. Huh? What? Oh, plastic? Oh, it's plastic. think I need an oar. Want me to film you crossing it?
A few moments later.
Don't hit your bumper. I mean, that's the water line. Okay. That's what we got these snorkels for, right? I'll leave this here for the next guy. We might need that.
Oh yeah, look at that. Nothing. Nice and solid.
Yep. Slow and steady. Oh, bigger than that.
That's a pond. That is a pond. But is it solid? Okay, all of them solid on the bottom. That broke.
The issue here wasn't how deep the water was. The issue was where it says slope in the drawing there, or in the picture. The left side dropped down probably 2 to 4 feet and put you along that wall. And we could see where people had already rubbed up against that wall. And there was no way to stay off of it. If you would have tried to have gone around there, you definitely would have dragged the whole driver's side of your truck along that embankment. And there was no avoiding it. On the high side, we saw where people had tried to go around it on the left there, but we saw where the trees had been hit several times, where people were sliding down into the trees and then dragging the sides of their trucks onto the trees. So at this point, the common sense thing was to just turn around and head back the other way. You know, unless you're on like, I don't know, 38 or 40 inch tires, you just don't care about the side of your vehicle. That was the only way you're getting through this.
Probably full in it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
And then I can watch your back tires for you and let you know when you come to the edge. You ain't got your locker on, do you?
No.
I'm just messing with you. Alright, come back. Oh, you got tons of there, back. Hang on. Pull up a little bit, let me pull this hitch out. Right there.
I'm not going to be on the bumper, am I?
I don't think so, but your hitch is like digging into the rocks before it comes up.
All right.
So I'll tell you if your bumper's going to get. Trying not to fall in the hole. Oh, your receiver's hitting a little bit. All right, now go back up to the right. Now cut left again. Just clear. Receiver.
Fuck.
Do it again. Pull forward, turn right, pull forward. Alright, now hard left. Come back.
After leaving this area, we started heading towards Fincastle, where there's a big rock obstacle that we would have to crawl over. And along the way, we stopped along the side of the road so I could walk Marley and give him some food and water. He hadn't been out of the truck in a while. And I noticed that the skies were starting to cloud up and it was starting to get dark to the west. So I checked the weather map and the local radar and saw that there was a pretty big storm just to the west of us moving towards us. We already knew that the next morning would start out with rain. It was going to turn to thunderstorms, and it was going to rain all day. Neither one of us really wanted to pack our camping gear up in a rainstorm. If we had a group of people with us, we would have stuck it out, and that would have been part of the adventure. But Robbie only lives a few hours away in Tennessee, and I had been in Ohio for a month, and I had a 971-mile drive back to Texas. So I think at this point, both of us had made the decision that we probably should head back and start packing up our gear before the storm hit us. You can't tell from the photo that it's about to rain. I mean, you see a little bit of clouds in the sky, but by the time we got all our stuff packed up, it started to downpour really hard, and it pretty much rained through the rest of the evening. I'd like to give a shout out to Skyjacker Suspension and Maxxis Tires. I'm not an ambassador of Skyjacker. I've never applied to be an ambassador of Skyjacker. I just have used their suspension for 30 plus years because I make a quality product and I believe in it, so I promote it. Maxxis Tires is new to me. These Razor ATs are new to me. I got these on a recommendation from somebody else, and I have to say that I really love these tires, and you'll probably see them on my truck for a while. So as you saw, there was only two of us in this video, Robbie and I. Ideally, I like to have 6 to 8 people doing this. We had three people that were interested. One person had to cancel because of health medical reasons. Another person had to cancel because their wife told them that they had some kind of family event that apparently they didn't know about that they had to go to. Third person posted in the forum that they were really interested, but another person posted and said, well, that's an overlanding trip. So then apparently they didn't want to do it because it was an overlanding trip, which this is overlanding about as much as the Ultimate Adventure, now the Unreal Adventure, is overlanding. Yeah, we do camp because we're in remote areas, right? But that's about it. It's all about the adventure. It's all about exploring new areas, taking your truck off-road. If you have a Ford Ranger and you use it Monday through Friday, it gives you a chance to actually use it for what it's built for, the four-wheel drive on the weekend. You encourage people to go out on the weekends and have an adventure, do something. And it's also to try to motivate the guys that have that off-road truck. And I'm guilty of this. I got a 96 Ranger sitting outside that I think it hasn't moved since it went to Carlisle like a year or 2 years ago. But I've been guilty of having an off-road truck that I use once or twice a year and I trailer it somewhere. So the point of this is to stop doing that, right? Drive your truck. Don't trailer it everywhere. Do what you can so that it's drivable so you can actually go out on the weekend and explore things. There's nothing wrong with having a hardcore truck, right? But it's kind of senseless to have one if you're only using it once or twice a year. So this was just kind of to try to motivate people to get their trucks out, actually drive it somewhere, wheel it, and drive it home. So we're only going to do this once a year. So obviously this year was kind of a bust, but we recorded it anyways so that people can kind of see what we did, what we're going to be doing, kind of what to expect. And we will do it again next year. It will not be in Kentucky. I don't know where it'll be. I would say that there's a very good chance it will be west of the Mississippi. So if you're interested in doing it again next year, stay tuned.